Some moments in life don't need a spotlight to feel powerful. They don't arrive with applause or music. They simply happen, and suddenly everything else fades into the background. For Kelly Ripa, one of those moments arrived quietly, wrapped in concern, love, and a deep emotional honesty that touched fans everywhere. Kelly Ripa has always been known for her bright smile, quick humor, and unstoppable energy. She's the kind of person who can turn an ordinary morning into something joyful, who laughs easily, and who brings warmth into every room she enters. But this time, something was different. When news surfaced about Mark Consuelos receiving a health update that required attention and care, Kelly's usual composure softened. Not because she was trying to be dramatic, but because love has a way of breaking through even the strongest walls. Mark Consuelos isn't just her husband, he's her partner in every sense of the word, her teammate, her favorite person. Their story began decades ago, long before morning television, long before red carpets and headlines. Two young actors meeting on a soap opera set, feeling something instantly familiar. They took a leap of faith, trusting their connection, and never looked back. Over the years, they've built a life filled with laughter, challenges, inside jokes, and a deep bond that only grows stronger with time. And when life offers a moment that asks you to slow down, to pay attention, to care a little more closely, Kelly does exactly that. The health update wasn't shared with panic or fear. It wasn't framed as something alarming. But it was enough to remind them both that even the strongest people sometimes need rest, support, and reassurance. Kelly listened carefully. She watched Mark closely, and in that moment, her emotions quietly surfaced. Not because she doubted him, not because she was afraid of the future, but because caring deeply means feeling deeply. Mark, true to who he is, approached everything with calm confidence. He reassured her with a smile, with humor, with that steady presence that has always grounded their relationship. He joked, he downplayed his own discomfort. He reminded her that he's still the same Mark, just maybe needing to take things a little easier for a while. Kelly, of course, wasn't fooled. She knows him too well. She teased him gently, reminding him that he's not invincible, even if he likes to think he is. She made light-hearted comments, adding laughter where she could, because that's how they communicate best, through honesty wrapped in humor. But behind the jokes, there was tenderness. Kelly stayed close. She checked in constantly. She made sure he rested, that he followed advice, that he didn't push himself too hard. And yes, there were moments when her emotions showed. Not in a way meant for attention, not for sympathy, but in the quiet, human way that happens when you love someone completely. Fans who witnessed Kelly speak about the moment noticed it immediately. Her voice softened, her eyes reflected care rather than fear. It wasn't about sadness, it was about connection. People around the world responded with kindness and understanding. They didn't see a celebrity moment, they saw a marriage. They saw devotion. Messages poured in praising the way Kelly supports Mark and the way Mark remains calm and reassuring for her. Many fans shared how relatable the moment felt, how love often shows itself not in grand gestures but in everyday concern. And through it all, Kelly and Mark remained exactly who they've always been: playful, honest, deeply connected. Kelly joked later about how Mark doesn't always listen when he's told to slow down. She laughed about keeping a watchful eye on him, making sure he behaves, even though he pretends he doesn't need supervision. Mark laughed too, admitting that having Kelly by his side makes everything easier, even when she's reminding him once again to take it easy. That's their rhythm. She worries, he reassures. They laugh, they move forward together. What makes their relationship so special isn't perfection, it's balance. Kelly brings energy and heart. Mark brings steadiness and warmth. Together, they create a partnership that feels real, grounded, and inspiring. This health update didn't change their story, it added another layer to it. A reminder that love isn't just about shared success or joyful milestones. It's about showing up during quiet moments. It's about caring without needing attention. It's about choosing each other again and again, even on ordinary days. Kelly didn't try to hide her emotions. She didn't dramatize them either. She simply allowed herself to feel. And in doing so, she reminded everyone watching that strength doesn't mean being emotionless. Strength means loving openly, even when it makes you vulnerable. Mark continues to do well, supported by his family, his doctors, and most importantly, the person who has been by his side since the very beginning. Kelly continues to do what she does best, bringing warmth, laughter, and honesty into every space she enters, while keeping her heart firmly connected to the man she loves. Their story remains one of Hollywood's most admired because it's not flawless, but it's genuine. They argue, they tease, they laugh loudly, they care deeply, and when life asks them to pause, they do it together. For fans, this moment wasn't heartbreaking, it was comforting. It showed that love doesn't disappear when challenges arise. It grows quieter, deeper, and more meaningful. It reminded everyone that behind the bright smiles and playful banter is a real relationship built on trust, patience, and unwavering support. Kelly Ripa didn't lose control of her emotions, she honored them. And Mark Consuelos didn't become defined by a health update. He remained exactly who he's always been, a strong, grounded presence supported by love. In the end, this wasn't a story about worry. It was a story about care, about partnership, about the kind of love that doesn't need attention to be powerful. And as Kelly and Mark continue forward, one thing remains clear. They face everything side by side. If this story made you smile, reflect, or feel a little closer to the people you love, stay connected for more real moments, heartfelt journeys, and stories that remind us what truly matters. Because sometimes the most meaningful stories aren't the loudest ones, they're the ones told with love.